promise from the president for accountability for an environmental disaster. On Friday, President Biden visited East Palestine, Ohio, a little more than a year after a train carrying hazardous chemicals derailed in the community. The president blamed the wreck on corporate greed and said it was 100% preventable. Mr. Biden, though, was met with protesters who say his administration was slow to react. The Norfolk Southern train went off the tracks last February. A subsequent fire sent toxic smoke into the air. Norfolk Southern has spent more than $1 billion in its response to the derailment. But a year later, many in East Palestine say they're still worried about the long-term effects on their health. Here's Roxana Saberi.
1 year after the train derailed 3 miles from Linda and Russ Murphy's farm, they believe their well water is still contaminated with chemicals.
Did you drink any of this after the train derailment?
No.
You just don't trust it?
No.
The Murphys still use the water for cleaning. They say that could be one reason they've developed strange symptoms.
You've had diarrhea every day since just after the derailment?
Yes. And my doctor, he's told me that they basically nuked your town.
I'll constantly rub my eyes because it looks like there's a haze.
Months after the disaster, a CDC survey found hundreds of residents still reporting symptoms consistent with the health effects of the substances released.
Is there still a lot of heavily concentrated contamination here?
Not here.
The Environmental Protection Agency's Mark Durno and his team have been overseeing Norfolk Southern's cleanup operation and says sampling indicates there's no danger to the community for now.
Then why are there so many people feeling these various symptoms?
That's a hard question to answer, but we also recognize that it's a question that needs to be addressed.
We are working with the village to focus on what's needed there.
Will Hardin is a senior director at Norfolk Southern.
If East Palestine becomes a cancer cluster, what would Norfolk Southern do? Will it still be there to help?
From a long-term health standpoint, we are addressing that with the state and local authorities.
So is it an option that's on the table?
It is an option that is on the table.
Some residents say they feel just fine and want to move on.
We're getting the word out that, we feel like it's safe for people to come here.
But others, like the Murphys, say it's too soon.
There's carcinogens that have been released that are in our waterways that we breathed in the air. I think we're all going to be statistics. And that's fine if it helps somebody else out, but what a shame. What a shame to be part of this research we didn't sign up for.
Many residents here don't trust Norfolk Southern. Some are calling on President Biden to issue a disaster declaration, which could bring in more resources for long-term health and environmental monitoring. For CBS Saturday Morning, Roxana Saberi, East Palestine, Ohio.